Hello everyone. So with this section here, I'm just going over with a blue-grey, loosely adding 181. This deepens the foundation while keeping it sort of cool and more colourful than true black. If you went in with just black, the likelihood is that it can or could come out looking quite flat. Down the body, I'm placing a Carbothello blue-grey along both outside sections, but not underneath the chin or through the centre of the chest just yet. The sides are more cooler and they're sort of reflecting light, so this bluey grey creates a really lovely foundation to prepare for the dark fur. I'm just mapping the large colour masses rather than trying to draw individual hairs, and then going in with the dark indigo over the blue-grey 157. This deepens the foundation while keeping it cool, and also that will add more colour than the true black. It will give it more depth. So I can see subtle blue tones within the badger's dark fur, particularly where the coat catches cooler reflected light. So the dark indigo really strengthens those blue undertones, and it begins moving the body toward a much sort of deeper value without making it appear flat. And obviously blending, that just settles the pigment into the surface and it creates an even foundation. So I'm now going to introduce the Derwent Dioxine Purple. Purple is extremely useful when creating rich black fur because it gives a real nice deep cool shadow without making the coat look flat or lifeless. So I'm bringing it into the centre beneath the chin and over the chest where it becomes the first foundation layer. These areas are really deeply shadowed, so they need a richer and darker beginning than the blue-grey foundation that we've already done. The colours may look much brighter or more obvious than they will in the finished animal. This is perfectly normal. These colours are not obviously intended to remain separate or make the badger look purple. They'll sit beneath the greys, the browns and blacks that follow, just influencing that sort of finished fur. So I'm just going to go over again with the 181 just to help unite the colours beneath it, because it is a cool dark grey rather than a black. It deepens the value without covering all that sort of beautiful underlying colour. And this is where the foundation begins to look more sort of blended. So going in with the Cretacolor black lead chalk it just helps the underlayer appear richer. So I'm not covering every trace of the purple or grey. They need to sort of remain visible and in place, but I'm just sort of putting this on so it doesn't look like one heavy empty shape, and just gently layering with a clean dry finger, using gentle pressure just to apply the warmth and softness. Be careful when blending with your finger. Make sure your hands are clean and dry, and just avoid pressing so firm that the surface becomes overloaded. On the right side, as we're looking at it, introducing the Carbothello 770. That's another Payne's grey. Although it belongs to the same colour family as the Faber-Castell, it's softer, so it lays down pigment differently. It just helps me soften those transitions and builds coverage without having to press heavily. And then over the soft sort of Payne's grey, I'll go over again with the Faber-Castell Payne's grey 181, as it's a firmer pencil, just to add in those sort of fur lines on the edges there. And then I'll blend in with a cotton bud. It just gives me more control. It makes it look a little softer, and just follow the direction in which the fur grows. So now that the foundations are in place, I'm happy now to start putting in some sort of definition to the fur. So I'm using Faber-Castell 233, another cold grey. It's a cool middle grey, so against that dark foundation, it can appear light, but it is softer and more natural than reaching for a white, for instance. So it allows me to introduce those cooler hairs, catch are catching the light, and also to describe the direction and movement of the coat as we go round. So underneath the chin, we keep that sort of really dark because it's in deep shadow, but there's certain elements of the hair here that are catching the light, so we just need to put a suggestion of those in there with the cool grey. I've also put in walnut brown to add a little bit of warmth, and over that I'm now going in with the Carbothello, a reddish brown over certain areas, and again this brings another gentle layer of that warmth into the coat and helps break up any sections that may have become too sort of bluey, purpley or grey. Just as a little side note, blue and brown, they can neutralise one another, so on this subject I'm just applying this colour lightly rather than thoroughly blending it into that foundation. So use selectively, it creates a really lovely natural chromatic dark. Overworked and it could make the fur appear dull or muddy, so just be careful, mindful how you're using the colours, and also look at the reference photo as well and see how you feel, whether or not it actually needs it too. So I hope this has helped you to see black fur a little differently. The foundation layers don't need to look neat or finished. Their job is really just to establish the animal's undercoat, the values and those sort of colour shifts before we add the detail. So build black fur from cool greys, indigo purple, earthy browns, saving that true black for the deepest shadows. Most importantly, look beyond the obvious colour and ask yourself, what can I really see beneath the black? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.